Hello, welcome. This is the Resilient Rooster. I'm back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today I'm going to be showcasing Infernoid Lair of Darkness. So thanks to the field spell Lair of Darkness, you're basically able to tribute one of your opponent's monster to proc your Infernoid card's effect. They all have an effect where you can tribute one monster to banish one card in your opponent's graveyard. So it works pretty well. For my Lair of Darkness support cards, I run 3 Lair of Darkness, 3 Lilith, Lady of the Lament, 2 Arma, the Wicked Warden, and 1 Darkest Diablos, Lord of the Lair. I'm not sure about the ratio, but I felt this was a comfortable number while I was playtesting. So this is basically my deck list. If you want to make any changes, feel free to. So let's get right into the replay. Since Infernoids don't really normal summon a lot, having Lily as your normal summon is not that bad. You still get at least some advantage. If you have 3 copies of Void Feast in your deck, you're basically able to search 1 copy. Obviously, you need a Void card in your hand or on the field in order to basically activate it. And having 2 negate on board, it's pretty hard to get over it if you don't go to your battle phase. In this case, my opponent didn't go to their battle phase, so they kind of struggled. I basically stopped them from doing whatever they wanted. And I drew the Void Banishment for turn. If I didn't draw it, it probably would have been just a grind game where I would have just beat down with my Infernoid cards. But since I drew it, it basically helped speed up the game. I was able to get a lot of cards on board, and when you have a lot of cards, you basically have a lot of ways to basically clear the graveyard. If you never have any problematic cards, you can basically banish the problematic one. In this case, my opponent, they had the Soul Charge, so I saw the most problematic card was the Armageddon Knight, so I just banished it. That way, I don't have to run through a Future Conductor play. My opponent did have the Oviraptor, but I was able to negate it, and since they were under Soul Charge, they couldn't attack for this turn. I made a misplay here. I forgot that window couldn't be destroyed by card effects. I still was able to get rid of their board though, so that was the good part. And at this point, they're just top decking, and I believe they drew a Kaiju, so they just surrendered. One thing I like about Infernoids, they have a lot of board removal cards. They have Onantra, which can bounce a monster. They have Harmonic, which can destroy 1 monster. They have Petrulio, which can destroy 1 spell or trap. And then they have the boss monster, Devyadi and Onoku. Devyadi can destroy the entire back row, and Onoku can destroy all the monsters on the field. So in this case, my opponent gets to start first, and they had a pretty big board. They had access to the Infinity, and I believe they're going to make Pleiades. But in my hand, I have a lot of cards just to out their entire board, which was quite fortunate for me. So I started it out to basically bail out these 2 cards, because Void Imagination is like a blowout card. Once you activate it, it's like a shutdown fusion. That way you can just fuse from your deck. And once you fuse from your deck, you'll have a lot of materials to basically special summon your Inferno cards. Each Inferno card, they basically have to banish a certain amount to be special summoned. So in this case, sending a lot of Inferno cards to the deck, to the graveyard, makes it a lot easier to basically summon all your cards. So in this case, I probably could have just attacked for a game, but I wanted to go fancy, and I just activate the Lair of Darkness and just summon the Darkest Diablo. With the addition of the Lair of Darkness field spell, Infernoid has another play to fall back on. In this case, my Void Banishment got Ash, but I do have a Decatron to extend my plays, and it did get Gamma. If it didn't get Gamma, I would have been at least be able to tribute a monster on my opponent's turn. So all I have now is the Void Imagination. As long as I don't get OTK this turn and they control an extra deck monster, I should be able to come back. So they try to stack my deck with the drone, but I was able to change the order of my deck thanks to the metaverse. So now they link to Linkaribo, and that was probably a big mistake on their part since I was able to get the Void Imagination off. And I pretty much have all the monster in my graveyard to basically go for game. So I get the 2 level 7, and this is basically a 2 card combo to basically finish the game off. In this next game, I opened up pretty bad. I didn't open up a power card, so this game was like a struggle for me. That's one of the problems with Infernoids. If you don't have an established graveyard, then it's going to be a grind game for sure. So I did have 1 negate, but since Decatron only has 500 attack, it's easy to get over. And right now I'm in top decking mode, and I think the only card that I can actually top deck to come back is the Void Banishment. And I ended up drawing the Void Feast. Since I don't have a Void Banishment card, then this card is practically dead. So my opponent, they continue to go off again, and all I have is Call from the Grave, but Call by the Grave can't really stop the onslaught if they have multiple monsters. So right now they attack me for even more damage, and I believe I only end up with 200 life points. So it was very bad looking, but I did get the Void Banishment, and Void Banishment did help me come back. I was able to basically clear the board, So that's a good start. The only problem is I only have 200 life points, so basically anytime that they summon maybe like a Zodiac monster, they could just go to like Borbo and just attack for game, since that card can attack directly. But this would be like a cool field though, since I'm able to stop an effect or a spell and trap. But in this case, since they have the whip tail, they go to the Borbo and just attack for a game. Since I ran cards like Monster Gate and Reasoning, I felt it was necessary to take out the hand traps, that way it won't conflict with the monster count. Instead, I ran the Infinite Trap card, that way I'm able to stop any problematic cards. In this case, my opponent couldn't really go through and they ended the turn. Since they didn't really have an established board, I was basically able to clear the board with my Harmonic and my Lilith. I got another infinite card, that way if they have another threat, I would be able to stop it. So in this case, it was just basically like a grind game and they didn't really have any other plays left, so they conceded. In this next game, I'll open up the level 6 Infernoid. That means my Void Feast won't be as strong as it was, but it's still a good disruption. So my opponent, they went minus a lot thanks to them not having the field spell. So I wasn't that worried. They did have one strike, but one strike can't really stop Infernoid since you can just keep summoning them back. In this case, I was able to bait out the strike thanks to my Seismicist effect, and now I'm able to freely go to Onoku and basically clear the board. And right now they're top decking mode, and this is the other problem with Infernoids. Since I control a level 10 Infernoid, I can't special summon anymore. So I need to wait until they actually activate a card. That way I can finally get the Onoku off the field and start spamming out my Infernoid cards again. So I basically can summon any Infernoid and just win at this point. That's it for the replays. If you enjoy it, please leave a like. If you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh content, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching and have a great day.